It is time to grow in our beginner yoga series today. We are finding the foundations underneath our feet, rooting down whilst growing tall, increasing our flexibility and also our strength. So welcome back to Yoga with Elizabeth, and let's get started. We are going to have a standing practice today. So to begin with, just plant your feet wherever feels comfortable. Push them down into your mat so that you can feel the mat or the floor underneath your big toe, your small toe, and also the middle point of your heel. We're coming into a position called mountain pose. Now, mountains are a solid, stable structure, and that's what we are looking for in ourselves. We want to feel stable. So if we have our feet too close together, you might feel you are wobbling a little bit. But if you just take them a little bit further apart, rooting down through your feet, strengthening through your legs, maybe squeezing your glutes as you draw your belly in, just relaxing your arms alongside your body, you feel strong. You feel as though if someone came up to you and gave you a little shove, you wouldn't be able to move anywhere. And this is what we are looking for in our mountain pose. We can close the eyes if you want to, just as we did when we start the class sitting down. We're finding our foundations. We're bringing ourselves into this space today, wherever it is for you and whatever time of day it is for you as well. And we are taking a moment to focus on the breath. Take that lovely deep breath in as we feel the belly expand. Maybe taking that first exhale out through the mouth. Feeling the shoulders drop and relax, feeling any tension melt away. As we find that stability, we find those foundations in our mountain. And then we just allow the breath to move in its own regular fashion, drawing it in through the nose and out through the nose. And all the while, making these tiny little adjustments for your center of gravity. So noticing if you are putting the weight more into the right or more into the left. Maybe you're coming forwards, maybe you're coming backwards, and just trying to balance yourself so that you feel grounded, you feel rooted, and you feel supported. Even though we're standing, not lying down, not sitting, we're still feeling supported by the earth underneath our feet. Let's just take another couple of breaths here. The eyes can be open if you want to. We don't have to close the eyes. Have a little sway as well. We don't always have to remain static in our postures. And then if your eyes are closed, just flutter the old eyelids open. And as we inhale, we bring the arms all the way up. Nice big stretch, maybe interlacing the fingers as we shine the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring them down. One more time, taking them up. This time, interlacing the fingers as we point our 2 forefingers towards the ceiling, and we take a gentle stretch over towards the left-hand side. Lengthening down that right side of the body, feeling that transfer of weight from one foot to the other. And then inhale, coming back up. And as we exhale, just dropping it over towards the right. And as we come into this side bend, just be aware to not bring that shoulder forward. We're keeping that top shoulder back, and we're keeping this line down the side, down the long side of the body here. Lovely. Let's come all the way back to our center position and draw our hands with grace and ease down through the center of our body. I'm going to turn to the side for this next pose. It's called chair pose. And as the name suggests, it's as though we are sitting down on a chair. We're planting those feet underneath the hips, so not too close, not too far apart. And then just take the hands onto the creases at the top of your legs. Just sit down, push the bottom back as though you're sat on a chair. So if you look down, you can probably still see your toes wriggling away down on the floor here. Trying not to have too much of a bend in the back or too much of a roundness through the spine. Just imagine you are plonking your bottom down on a chair, and we can bring our hands together in front of our heart, or for an extra challenge, Keeping that softness through the shoulders, we can reach them out in front of us. See if we can hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself up to standing. A very challenging move on your thighs and on your glutes here. Just take a moment, re-establish the foundations under your feet, roll the shoulders back and down, bring the hands to the heart, and as you exhale, slowly sink yourself back down into your chair pose. Again, maybe extending the arms out in front of you for 3. Lovely deep breaths for 2. And 1. Pushing through your feet and bringing yourselves up to standing. Turning to face the long edge of your mat now. As with all these videos, we're going to go through a couple of postures, and then at the end of the video, just link them together in a little flow, reminding ourselves to coordinate each movement with our breath as well. So we're going to take the feet wide along our mat now, and we're going to keep our right foot facing towards that long edge and just turn our left foot to face the short edge of the mat. So we have 2 straight legs here. You might want to turn that back foot in a little bit. Just play around with your foot position. Each posture is as individual as you are, so just make it your own, and all the while make sure that your foundations, whatever is touching the floor in that posture, is feeling secure and firm. So we're rooting down again under the big toe of each foot, under the small toe, the middle point of the heel. Really work to push the feet into the floor so you can feel the strength rising up the legs. And when we feel strong in our foundations, we bring our arms up to shoulder height, roughly the same height, front and back, looking towards that front arm. From here, we're going to keep the legs in exactly the same position. As we breathe in, reach forward, and as we exhale, windmill the arms over, coming into triangle. So this front arm just rests on the inside of the leg, and the top arm can reach to the ceiling, or if you feel a bit wibbly wobbly, we can drop it behind the back. I think this is quite useful because it also draws that top shoulder back as well. Oftentimes, if we have the arm in the air, there's the tendency to come into this more forward-facing posture. And this is very much a lengthening through the side of the body pose. As we bring our body weight forward, obviously we transfer more weight into the front foot. See if you can compensate this by pushing a little bit more into the back foot, trying to keep our weight as even as possible. And when we transition out of this pose, bend into your front knee, push through the feet, use that strength through the legs, through the core to draw yourself up to standing. We are going to just turn on our heels, turn, and come to face the other side of your mat. So your right foot is facing the short edge, your left foot facing the long edge, maybe turning in, maybe different for both sides of the body. Inhale, lift the arms up, shrug the shoulders back and down. Exhale, and on your next inhale, lengthen as though you're trying to reach something in front of you. We lengthen through the body, through the sides of the body. As we breathe out, we slowly rotate over and decide what we're going to do with this top arm. Are we happy reaching it up into the ceiling, into the air? Or maybe it feels more comfortable to roll it back, just rest it behind the body as we lengthen down towards the floor. Yoga brings an awareness to all parts of the body. So in this pose, we're thinking about the feet. We're thinking about the legs. We're noticing how the neck feels as well. Is it too much to look forward or up? If so, we turn the gaze to the floor. Always bringing that awareness into how the body feels in each pose. And what happens to the mind? Is the mind scrabbling away, trying to think of different things? Or are we just focused on our breath? Bend into that right knee. Push through the feet and bring yourselves up to standing. We're going to turn around once more to face the left-hand side. So the left leg once more, left foot, is facing the short edge of the mat. And this time, we are going to maybe widen the distance between our feet and bring a bend into that left knee. coming into a pose called warrior, warrior two. And whereas in our triangle, we had 2 straight legs, this time we have a bend in our front knee. And this bend can be as deep or as shallow as your body allows. We draw the arms back to shoulder height, and we start with the foundations. We're pushing through the feet. We're growing strong and tall through the legs. And we can experiment with that bend in the knee just to see how it feels. Keeping our body upright. So again, we're not leaning towards that front leg. We're staying upright with our body, and we're just drawing the bend through that front leg. And when we come to a position that feels attainable, sustainable for a couple of breaths, let's stay here. Keeping the knee out towards the small toe. It might want to try and collapse and come in, but see if we can just push it out. So this is where we are building the strength in these static holds of these postures, allowing the breath to flow smoothly. And on your next inhale, we are going to straighten that front leg, turn on our heels once more. Keep the arms up if you can. A little bit of extra work and strength to keep the arms in this position. Bring a bend into that right knee, and we find warrior on this side. Move the feet around if you want to. Bring them closer, take them further away. We're pushing into the back foot, hopefully as equally as we are pushing into that front foot. Finding softness through our shoulders, keeping that front knee out towards the small toe, pushing as much as we can into that back foot, maybe deepening the bend, maybe reducing it as we find some stillness, some strength in our warrior two pose. Inhale, pushing ourselves back up, turning our feet to face the front. If you have the energy, you can hop those feet together, or you can do the natty little heel toe shuffle back into our mountain pose. Let's just take a moment to reconnect to our breath in our mountain. Close the eyes, finding our foundations underneath our big toe, underneath the heel, underneath the small toe, softening through the shoulders, growing tall through our spine. Take a lovely deep breath in and a long breath out. We are going to connect some of these postures together. Let's take that wide step out once more with our feet. A bit wobbly myself here. And we're going to start with our triangle towards the left-hand side. So remember, we have 2 straight legs. The distance between the feet might be a little shorter. We lift the arms up to shoulder height. On our inhale, we lengthen towards that left-hand side. And as we exhale, we rotate over, reaching the top arm up or dropping it behind the back, keeping the gaze wherever your neck feels nice and comfortable. See if we can hold it for 3. Nice deep breath for 2. And on 1, we're going to bend into that front knee, push ourselves back up, bring the arms back to shoulder height, maybe walk the back foot out a little bit as we find our warrior, bending into that left knee, keeping our torso upright, taking a couple of breaths, and we're going to add on to this posture as well. On your next inhale, we're going to turn the palm of that left hand upwards, and we're going to draw the body backwards. We're keeping that bend in that front knee, so we're not straightening. We're just coming backwards into this reverse variation of our warrior pose. Draw it back through our warrior 2. Straighten that left leg. Turn on the heels. 2 straight legs. Inhale towards the right. Exhale over into your triangle. 2 straight legs. Decide what you want to do with this top arm. We can draw it back to draw that shoulder back, pushing into the feet. Take a breath here. Shoulders are soft. And then as we push into that right foot, we bend the knee, drawing ourselves up into warrior, dancing the old foot position around a smidge, holding it here. Foundations, remember, nice and strong. And then turning the palm of the right hand upwards, we just wave the body backwards. Nice, smooth motions. Exhale back into our warrior. Straighten that front leg. Turn on the toes, on the heels, sorry. Hop the feet together or heel toe it in. And then before we finish, we are going to link all of these postures together, starting with our chair pose. So this time, rather than facing the front, you will face the short edge of your mat. We're going to plant those feet in our mountain pose, shrugging the shoulders back and down. Take a lovely deep breath in, and then as we exhale, we sit back in our chair, choosing to either bring your arms in front of you or your hands to the heart. Let's just see if we can hold it for 1 and 2. Inhale, coming back up to standing. Keep your hands to your heart. Take a step back now with your right foot. Turn to face the long edge of your mat as you open out your arms, facing towards your left foot. We inhale. We exhale, coming over. Smooth, flowing movements. See if we can let the breath guide the speed of your movements. Bend into that left knee, flowing upwards, moving the back foot if we need to find our warrior two. Deep breath in. As we exhale, let's take it backwards into our reverse warrior. Coming forwards into warrior two. Straighten through that front leg. Turn on our heels. Inhale. Lengthen towards the right hand side. Exhale, take it over into triangle. Bend into that right knee, back into warrior two. Lovely deep breath in. Exhale, flow it backwards into reverse warrior. Flowing beautifully through the upper body, we come back into our warrior two. Straighten through that right leg. Drop the arms. Turn the feet. Hop the feet or heel toe the feet. Planting the feet once more underneath our hips. Lift the shoulders up, shrug them down, maybe closing the eyes and bringing ourselves back to where we started in our mountain pose. And to end this class, you can have your eyes closed, you can have them open, just looking at a point in front of you, and just taking a small amount of time to reconnect with your breath. Feel yourself drawing the breath in through your nose, the expansion of the belly. And as you exhale, the belly falls, the breath is released. And all the while thinking about your foundations, about the earth underneath your feet. Imagine your soles of your feet being drawn down towards the earth, rooting down. And then the crown of your head having the opposite effect by extending upwards towards the heavens. As we just take another couple of breaths to finish our class, feeling grounded, feeling strong, and hopefully feeling a little bit more flexible. Opening your eyes if you have them closed, bringing your hands towards your heart. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat for day 2 of this beginner series. I look forward to seeing you for day 3, where it's all about the balance. See you soon.